Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Mutsiu, and this is a brief introduction on Unit 1, Learning Greek, learning the Greek language. So the purpose of this short video is for me to guide you through the ebook that you can see here in front of you that I have shared for you on my screen, just to see the contents, what you will be seeing. And the purpose of this video is more to go over, let me scroll down, and see the second section of the book, which is about learning useful Greek phrases. And that is because on section 1, which are the basics of the Greek language, including the letters and the numbers, they are very big and detailed lectures that we have uploaded for you in a PowerPoint format. So you will have a lot of time to go through the basics with me in 2 different PowerPoints, as you will see on your course website. But section 2, we don't have a specific lecture for you, so I think it's a very useful thing for us to go over what you will be seeing in this section, and for me to give you suggestions on how you should be approaching this section regarding your teaching and self-studying pace. So let's see what this book is all about. As I told you previously, the book is divided into 2 main sections. The first section is dedicated to learning the basics of the Greek language. So more specifically, the course goes on over the Greek alphabet, its vowels and consonants, as well as how we combine them and pronounce them. We then continue with a quick overview of the numbers and how we use them in the Greek language. You will learn from numbers all the way to 1, from 0 all the way to 1,000 and even 9,000, as you will see on the PowerPoint that we have prepared for you, and how to pronounce them. Although this section is not extensive, it lays the basic foundation for you to be comfortable around the Greek language. Now, as I told you previously, in this section, there are 2 PowerPoints that go through over what we have for you here in detail. And I have prepared for you some interactive exercises, which I think would be very, very good and beneficial for you to go over. Now, the second section of this course, which is the one that I want to focus on with this recording, is more specific because it goes over some basic vocabulary and phrases that you will find useful in the everyday life of living in Greece. So the second section is divided into 5 subcategories. Vocabulary and phrases that you will use at work, when you go to public services, when you are in the health sector, health-related services, phrases and vocabulary we use in everyday life, and some phrases to use when you are around friends. Now, the main purpose of this section is to give you a comprehensive set of words and phrases that will make your navigation in Greece a bit easier. So this is our suggestion on how you should be going on and studying the entire unit regarding language. So let's go over the suggested studying schedule we have for you. Now, the first thing I want you to do is watch the pre-recorded lecture, which is in a PowerPoint format, that is called Learning the Letters, the letters of the Greek alphabet. Then complete the interactive online exercises we have for you on learning the letters. Then move on to watching the pre-recorded lecture on the numbers, then do the numbers. Complete the online exercises then we have for you on learning the numbers. And number 5 is what we're doing now. Watch the short pre-recorded lecture on useful Greek phrases, which is the video you're watching right now. And then take your time to go over the second section of the book and study the entirety of the material. Complete the online exercises that refer to the second section of the book, and then complete the Unit 1 Greek final quiz. And you should have a kind of a better understanding of definitely the basics, as well as how you're going to navigate Greek life if you come to visit, if you decide to work here, and so on. So let us scroll down and go to the second section of the book. So we're here in section 2, as you can see, useful Greek phrases. Now, You have 5 sections here. Let me zoom in a bit more. As we said, work, public service, health, everyday life, and being with friends. Each section has its own subcategories, okay? So we have further divided each part of section 2 to make it easier for you. So I will briefly go through the contents of each subsection and my suggested reading style for you. Okay, so the first area we are focusing on are phrases to use at work. Okay, the aim of this section is to help you learn phrases and vocabulary that will help you navigate the world of work. Okay, from learning the words having to do with professions and jobs to someone's first day at work. Okay, this section aims at providing participants with the vocabulary and sentences to navigate a multitude of work-related scenarios. So the first subcategory in the world of work are, of course, professions, the kinds of jobs we have and how we pronounce them and write them down in Greek. So on the first, and this is, I'm giving you the layout once, and it is exactly the same for the rest of the book from this point forward. So the first column here, English sentence, as is described on the label, has the English sentence. Okay. The middle column is the translation of the sentence or the word or words in Greek. Okay. And then on the third column, I have taken the time to create the pronunciation of the Greek sentence using Latin characters. This is something that will help you because it takes some time to absorb and learn how to pronounce Greek words. Okay. For example, here, let's say a craftsman, a handyman. Okay. These are the same word. In Greek, we say technitis, technitis. The reason that I have two words here is because in Greek, some of the occupations have both a male, a masculine, and a feminine way that we pronounce them. So if the craftsman is a man, we say enas technitis. If the craftsman is a woman, we say technitria. So technitis if they're male, technitria if they're a female. Okay. It's okay if you make the mistake and use the male or the female version of the nouns. Do not worry about it. It is very common for somebody to make those mistakes when they start learning Greek. And you will get your point across. That's the important thing. So do not worry too much about it. Okay. We have the cashier. Okay. Again, cashier in Greek is tamias, tamias. This is a case where whether you have a male cashier or a female cashier, the word we use is exactly the same, tamias, tamias. This is something, of course, that takes time and unfortunately memorization. There's no direct rule that can help you and kind of figure out when you're going to be using a male or a female version of the word. Okay, so we have a lot of different phrases for you, like he is a cashier, she is a cashier, I would like to be one, I work as one, you work as a cashier, right? You may see some nouns 2 times here, a driver, and that is because the first one is the masculine version of the noun. So a male driver, and a female driver. Okay, on the second row. And then we have, what is your job? He works like this, she works as that. Okay, we have all kinds of professions for you to go through. Okay, it's a lot. Maybe it would be good for you to also use this book as kind of a dictionary. Okay, if you want to go back and relearn the material. And of course, feel free to print out the book and add in your own words, the vocabulary you learn. I think that would be a great thing. So once you finish with, there's a lot of information. Once you finish with the occupations, the next subsection of the world of work is, of course, looking for a job. And this section is completely devoted to how do we do an application? What words or phrases or vocabulary might we need when we're looking for a job for the first time? So you will see here that we have some basic vocabulary. How do we call a job, a profession, work, a job position, a contract, the types of contracts, that I would like to be hired. This is my resume. This is my cover letter. I have completed my application. I have an appointment, a job interview. Okay, I have to pass a test. And then, of course, this will help you kind of understand what things might be asked of you during a job interview, as well as know what you can ask the future employer when it comes to, working for someone. So we have a lot of things for you here. So take your time to go through that as well. And then we have the first day at work. Let me quickly scroll through and see. Okay, then we have, okay, perfect. So first day at work. This is a list of phrases mostly that are very common in an everyday Greek work environment. For example, I work here. Let me introduce you. Let me present you to the team. Do you know Maria? Have you met Yorgos? This is for you meeting your teammates or your co-workers. This is the secretary. What time do we start? What time do we finish? This is where we have our lunch breaks. Okay, if you need any help, go see this person. It's time to take a break. I'm showing you this. I'm explaining to you that. Pay attention, and so on and so forth. It will be a comprehensive guide for you to navigate on your first day at work. Now, since Greece is a very tourist-centered city, right? We thrive on tourism. We have decided to focus on the restaurant because you might need to work in a restaurant one day as a cook, as a server, as a manager, okay, as a waiter. There are a lot of jobs that you might work for in a restaurant. So we have the basic objects that you might see in a restaurant, like the room, the kitchen, what kind of cutlery, how do we call all the cutlery, the fork, where each one of them is placed, okay, towels, and then we have some action-related phrases like I finish work soon, end your shift, I'm washing the dishes, I'm looking for something, I'm serving table 4, for example, mopping, cleaning, okay. So it's a good first guide for you to understand how you can navigate if you happen to work in a restaurant, or even if you go to a restaurant and you want to have a nice plate of food and ask the waiter for some of the things you have on the list here. The next section on the first category is the construction side, which is another area where you might find yourself working at. So we have the building, some types of work, how do we call the walls, some prepping material, the tiles, the cement, the people who work at that site with you, and then we have some action-related things that you might be doing there, driving this kind of vehicle, how do we call each of the products and materials that you might be using if you happen to work. And then we have the secretary, which is another area where you might find yourself at, either working as a secretary or going to a secretary to ask for help. So again, a list of words on types of secretaries, clients, phrases regarding how you arrange some appointments or talk to the customers, the agenda, the scheduling, the calendar, organizing the files, opening the mail. These are some very simple phrases, okay, on how you should be navigating around the secretary area. And then we'll move on to the second section of the second category of section 2, which are phrases to use if you happen to find yourself at a public service. At one point or another, you're going to have to go to a public service in Greece because you might either need to submit an official document or ask permission for something, and so you're going to have to be able to express what you need to governmental staff, people who work at public services. So the first thing is about how you present yourself, how you give your basic information, like your name, your age, where you're from, how long you have been in Greece, where do you stay, what's your address, what's your family situation, okay, if you have any children. These are all things that might be asked from you if you go to a public service in Greece. Now, the second section is the types of administrative documents that you might need, like your passport, your ID, your driving license, your residence permit, okay, certificates, photocopy of things that you may need. This is something because in Greece, we're kind of an in-between state where most of the processes can now be done online through the government's official website. And of course, if you do it online, there's an option for you to use the site in English, which might be more convenient for you. But for some of the services, you will need to go in person and talk to somebody who works in a public service office. So I think it is really important for you to be able to say that this is my information, for you to know how to give your identification and other administrative documents and so on. Okay. Then a very quick section for the town hall. This is mostly for you to submit applications when it comes to, getting your children in school, for example, or getting your passport renewed. So some very basics about the town hall. You will very rarely and almost never need to go to one, but we have it for you here just in case. Okay. And then at the prefecture here, it depends on the kind of service that you want to get. Again, we have all the paperwork, words, phrases, vocabulary that you might need if you go to the prefecture of your area. Okay, nomarchia is how we call it in Greek, and submit some documents that you might need for a specific procedure. Okay. And then some family fund related phrases and vocabulary, because you might need to apply for some family benefits or housing assistance. Okay, so here's some basic vocabulary about that. And then, of course, you have health insurance. You're going to have to be insured. Of course, if you work and you have your papers in line, your work covers your insurance for you. But again, it's something that you should be able to navigate. So we have some very basic things for you to learn in Greek and how to ask for them in Greek regarding your health insurance. And then, of course, the police station. We hope you never end up in a police station, of course, but there's some other reasons why you might need to go there. It might be somebody steals something from you, okay? So you need to go there and report it. Maybe you want to renew your passport. Renewing our passport in Greece is now something that you can do in local police stations. Okay, you are a witness to a crime or you want to ask for help. This is something that you might need and could be useful to you if you see a police station. So that is the next section. And of course, how you set up an appointment. Okay, so these are more specific phrases about if you have all the papers you need. Okay, so the counter, the reception, the ticket, the papers. This is about the day of the appointment. So when you book the appointment and go to the public service, these are some of the things that you may be asked to give or talk about. So this is a good guide as well. And of course, here we have a very quick overview of how we say the dates. Of course, as you have seen in the previous sections, we have gone over the numbers. So saying the date, what day it is today, the only extra thing you need to learn are the days of the week and the months. So here we have for you the days and how we pronounce them in Greek. We have the months then, and then how we pronounce them in Greek. And we have words like day, the week, the month, the year, tomorrow, yesterday, last week, last month, and so on. And then some examples on how you should be pronouncing some of the dates, which of course, numbers like this, like 2004 or 2021, we have gone over the previous presentation lectures on this unit. Okay. Then the third area that we're going to cover on section 2 is specifically for health services. And this is because you will at some point need to, use a health professional. So you should be able to, the aim of this section is to help you distinguish between health professionals, okay, the types of doctors, for example, that we have, and explain your symptoms if you have any, and ask for specific help. So how do you book an appointment? That's the first section. What do you need? I need to see a doctor. What time do you open? When can I come? I want to cancel or I will call back. Okay, how long should I have to wait? Where is the doctor's office? And then some directions that you may be given. Who is the appointment for? Okay, it's for me, it's for my son, it's for my daughter, it's for my wife, it's for my husband, and so on. Then the second section is about talking about the symptoms. You're gonna have to be able to say to the doctor who is overseeing your case what feels wrong. So we have a few phrases and vocabulary like headache, that your head hurts, your throat hurts, the knee, the stomach, the back, the neck, you have a fever, that you're vomiting or coughing. And again, we have a series of symptoms that relate to illness. Okay, that will be of use to you if you want to explain your symptoms or the symptoms of somebody close to you, let's say a family member. Then, once we're at the doctor, these are a set of phrases that the doctor might tell you. So you need to be able to recognize, like, take off your shoes, take off your sweater, sit down, lie down, breathe hard, inhale, cough. Okay. They will ask you, how is your general health? Okay. So these are some of the questions you might stumble into if a doctor talks to you. And then the kinds of medication and um, pharmacy, medication related words that you may stumble upon. Okay. Of course, we have some phrases about the doses, so are able to understand how much of the medicine you're supposed to take. Of course, these are written down for you on a piece of paper, but it would be good for you to be able to learn how to distinguish them by speech as well. Okay. Then the section continues with the types of health professionals that we have. Okay, so this is just a list of different kinds of doctors, okay, like physiotherapist, dentist, gynecologist, okay, pediatrician, psychologist, nurse, surgeon, dietitian, paramedic, okay, pharmacist, and so on. Of course, this is not the full list, but it's a good start. And then we go on to the fourth. We have this one and one more section of a subsection of section 2, which are phrases to use in everyday life. The aim of this section is to help you learn some phrases about navigating everyday life. So, how do we navigate the shops and the stores that we need daily, like the market, the supermarket, the store, the post office, and the train station? And this is exactly what we have. The stores, like you go to the supermarket. How do you ask for specific products? How do you know which aisle the products are in? Okay. How do you say different foods and vegetables in Greek? So you have a lot of things regarding supermarkets. Okay. And then I won't go extensively through this section because again, here at the market, we have all the vegetables, the fruit, the vegetables, how much does it cost? We've seen this already in a previous presentation, right? Can I have can I pay by card? Can I have a bag? Things that will help you navigate the supermarket. And the previous section is mostly about general stores that you might need in everyday life, like the flower shop, the laundry room, or you go to a hair salon, okay, the clothing store, the pharmacy. It's about more general stores that you might have you might need to go into. Then, as we said, is the market. And then at the store, more specifically, how do you ask for each section of the store? That this is the fish, the bakery section, the beverage section. This is how you can ask for directions to go somewhere. Okay. It's a big one. It's a big one, but we wanted to make as extensive and complete as possible. And then we have for you something about the train station. Now, the train station in Greece, you might have to go either using the subway or the train. Now, the subway and the stations of the subway are very easy to navigate, and you do not need to know Greek in order to navigate them. Everything is also translated in English, and there's people there who will be more than willing to help you. This section is mostly focused on the train station, okay, because it is a bit older and you might not be as easily able to find the English equivalent of the words. So it's good for you to be prepared on how to know which platform your train is leaving from, what time, how to book a ticket, and so on. So this is what this section is all about. And then at the post office, how do you send an envelope? How do you ask what time they're open? How do you get stamps? How do you post a letter, send an email? These are some good phrases that you might need if you go into a post office and ask for a specific service. Okay. And the fifth and final section, phrases to use with friends. Okay. The aim of this section is for you to be more comfortable and confident, right, when you meet and talk to friends. How to make and keep friendships and relationships, as well as being able to ask for help from someone. Adjusting to a new environment, let alone one that has a completely different language, can be very difficult. So it is very important for you to be able to ask for assistance, ask for help. And if it's a Greek person that can help you with something, then that's the better option, obviously, because they will be more capable in navigating and fulfilling your need. So the first thing we have here is a series of greetings and how we say good morning, good evening, goodbye, see you, how have you been, what's up, and so on. Okay, some more formal and some more informal ways of saying our news. Okay, like apologizing, I'm sorry, thank you very much, excuse me, and so on. And then about telling our news. Okay, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How have you been? How's your family been? This is where I live now. I found a new job. I work there. You know, some catching up, basically, is the second section of the book. Oh, an extensive extensive list, as you can see. And then when we meet, okay, this is about you talking to your friends and deciding where you're going to meet each other for a coffee or for a night out. So it's about calling each other. Do you agree on that time? What should I bring? When should I come over? I'm bringing that. Can you bring this? Okay. Do you like this? Do you prefer that? It's a good way for you to be able to talk to other Greek people or Greek friends and make plans together. And the last section is about asking for a service, is what I told you before. It's about needing to ask help. So it's about explaining what kind of concern you have, that you need help. Would it be possible for you to help me? I don't know how to fix it. Can you come with me to the police station? Can you correct my resume or my CV? Can you read my cover letter? Again, I'm just giving you some indicative examples. Can I ask the question? Can you call this for me? Can you call that person for me? Where can I buy this? Where can I get that? Can you lend me something? Can I borrow something from you? Okay. Can you show me on Google Map? Do you know where I can reissue my subway card, for example? Okay. And that is all. Do not underestimate this section at all, because we went through it very, very quickly, and it takes a lot of time to absorb everything. So I think it's best if you take your time and see each section on its own. Let me go up to the top again, so I don't confuse you with me scrolling upwards. So I think it's a very good thing for you to take each of the subsections of the 5 subsections separately and work on them, and do not underestimate them. You're going to need quite some time to prepare, and do go on the website and look at the branching scenarios that we have made for you, the exercises. It will be a good and quick way for you to test yourself on how to keep a conversation going. And you will find exercises for all 5 of the subsections we have for you. So thank you for all of your attention, and I wish you all the best in your studying, and I hope you enjoy Greece. Thank you very much.